Okay, now we'll see some common greetings in Amharic language, okay? We'll see some of the common greetings in Amharic language. For instance, in English, you will say hello. If you want to say someone hello, the equivalent word in Amharic language is what? Salam, okay? Salam. You will say salam. It means hello, okay? It means hello. This one is sa to sa. This one is a group of la. There is la, there lu, li, la. This one is la, and this one is what? A group of ma. Ma, mu, mi. Ma has what? 6 subgroups. So ma, mu, mi, ba, me, me. This one is me. This one is subgroup of la called la. This one is sa. So sa, la, me. Salam. Salam means hello. Okay, it means hello. So in Ethiopia, if you came in, if you saw someone and if you want to say hello, you're gonna say him salam, salam. Okay, salam. It's greeting. Okay, it means hello. Salam, salam. Okay. The other greeting is that if you want to say how are you, in English, if you want to say how are you, so what is the equivalent term in Amharic language to say how are you? But in this case, there are 3 situations, okay? To say how are you to someone, there are 3 situations in Amharic language. The first one is, it will differ for male, for female, and for 2 or more than 2 persons gathered together. The way we say hello differs, okay? The way we say how are you is different, okay? For instance, if the person you want to say how are you is a male, then you'll say date na, okay? Date na. This one is a group of a, okay? A, u, I, a, e, This one is and this one is a group of na, nu, ni, na, ne, ne. This one is ne. Whereas this one is a subgroup of da, do, di, da, de. This one is de, okay? And this one is subgroup of ta, tu, ti, ta, te, t. This one is t, okay? And this one is basic alphabet na, okay? This one is na. Whereas this one is subgroup of alphabet ha, hu, hi, ha, he, h. So when we pronounce it n, de, t, and date. Na, na. Date na. Okay? Date na. It means that how are you? To say how are you in Amharic, you will say what? Date na. Date na. And we will say date na for male, okay? If the person is male, we will say date na. How about if the person is female, we will say n, date, and date na. This one is subgroup of sha, shu, shi, sha, she, sh, nesh. And date nesh. Okay? And date nesh. If the person that we want to say, how are you, is female, we'll say that in Amharic language, and date nesh. But if it is male, and date na. Okay? That's difference, okay? If it is male, we will say and date na. And date na. If the person is female, we will say and date nesh. Date nash, okay? And date nash. And date nash. If it is male, and date na. If it is female, and date nash. How about if the person we are saying how are you are, if there are 2 persons or more than 2 persons gathered together, we say they have in one place gathered. If there are 2 or more than 2 persons, how can we say how are you? How can we say how are you? We will say what? እንዴት ናችሁ? እንዴት ናችሁ? እንዴት ናችሁ? Okay? እንዴት ናችሁ? So, to say how are you in Amharic language, there are 3 ways, okay? For male, for female, and for persons who are 2 or more than 2 persons, it is different, okay? So, to say how are you in Amharic language, for male, we will say እንዴት ነህ? እንዴት ነህ? See, እንዴት ነህ? And date na, okay? And date na. for female to say how are you, we will say እንዴት ነሽ, እንዴት ነሽ, እንዴት ነሽ, okay, እንዴት ነሽ. And for persons who are gathered, for two or more than two persons gathered together to say how are you in Amharic language, we will say እንዴት ናችሁ, እንዴት ናችሁ, okay, እንዴት ናችሁ, እንዴት ናችሁ. Okay, now let us see the response. Okay, we have said that in order to greeting someone, if we say how are you in Amharic language, for it differs for male, for female, and for two or more than two person. If the person is male, if you want to say how are you, we will say ደህና ነህ, and if the person is female, we will say ደህና ነሽ. And if the persons are two or more than two persons, and if we want to say how are you in Amharic language, ደህና ናችሁ, we will say ደህና ናችሁ. So now let us see the response. Okay, if we say how are you, the response will be what? Oh, I am fine, or I'm not fine. Okay, one of the two are the responses. Okay, if we say to someone how are you, then the response is I am fine. You will say to us I am fine, or you will say I'm not fine. Okay, so let us see same response in Amharic language. Okay, if we ask that person how are you, and in Amharic language, if he replies to us by saying I am fine, for male and for female, the response will be to say I am fine. They will say what? ደህና ነኝ. They will say ደህና ነኝ. Okay, for both male and female, the response will be ደህና ነኝ. Are you fine? We say to him. Then he will reply to us, and he want to reply to us by saying what? I am fine. So in Amharic language, I am fine means ደህና ነኝ. Okay, ደህና ነኝ. This one is ደህና, ደህና ነኝ. It means I am fine. So the response is for both male and female, it's similar. If the person is male, he will reply to us ደህና ነኝ. If the person is also female, she will reply to us by saying ደህና ነኝ. Okay, will respond by saying ደህና ነኝ. But if the persons are two or more than two, they will reply to us ደህና ነን, ደህና ነን. Okay, here ደህና ነኝ, this one is ደህና ነኝ. But if the persons are two or more than two, they will reply to us by saying ደህና ነን, not ኝ. Here ኝ, whereas this one is ን. Okay, ደህና ነን. They will reply to us ደህና ነን. If the persons are two or more than two, and we ask them how are you, then they will reply to us we are fine. Okay, so it means that ደህና ነን, to reply in group ደህና ነን. Okay, how about the response is negative? If it is negative, for instance, we say how are you, and the person is not fine, so he will say I am not fine. So what is the response in Amharic? ደህና አይደለሁም, ደህና አይደለሁም, ደህና, this one is a, this one is ይ, this one is ደ, አይደለሁም, ደህና አይደለሁም. It means that I am not fine. The response is the same for both male and female. Okay, if the persons are male or female, they will reply to us. If they are not fine, they will say to us what? ደህና አይደለሁም, ደህና አይደለሁም. Okay, ደህና አይደለሁም. The negative response. If someone asks you how are you, then if responded by saying I am not fine, so in Amharic language you will say what? ደህና አይደለሁም, ደህና አይደለሁም. The response is for male and for female. Okay, how about if the persons are two or more than two, and if the response to the question how are you, the response is we are not fine, we will say ደህና አይደለንም. Okay, if the persons are two or more than two, they will say ደህና what? አይደለንም, አይደለንም. Here for male and for female, the response is ደህና አይደለሁም, ደህና አይደለሁም. But if the persons are two or more than two, their response will be ደህና አይደለንም. Okay, ደህና አይደለንም. So the first one is ደህና አይደለሁም. For instance, you asked me, how are you? It means that ደህና ነህ? Then I respond, I am fine. So when I respond by saying I am fine, the response in Amharic is ደህና ነኝ. If I am not fine, I will respond to you ደህና አይደለሁም. Okay, I will say to you ደህና አይደለሁም. ደህና ነህ? When you say to me ደህና ነህ or how are you, I will say I am fine. ደህና ነኝ. It means but if I am not fine, I will say you ደህና አይደለሁም. Okay?